Yeah, yeah, that's definitely true. Um, yeah, the more you experience more of kind of a pure version of yourself, the more the impure version feels um, painful or more noticeable or more strange. Um, so yeah, that's definitely true. I think if you're actually looking for sort of, I mean, good stories feel good. So having a good story wouldn't be a problem, but a painful story is obviously undesirable. So maybe something you could ask yourself is, what am I actually looking for through having any kind of story? What could be sustaining the actual um, habit of the mind to produce a story? So usually it's for a sense of self, a sense of security, or a sense of belonging, or a sense of stability. Maybe you have other things that will come up, but if you're aware of what is actually being sought for in a general sense, like is it security, stability, a sense of self, anything like that, then you can start to perhaps invite those things into your energy, but in a very general way, and not so much in your head. But for example, if my mind wants to feel secure in a story about me, even if it's a painful story, it wants to feel secure. So how does security actually feel? And then you can ask that question without trying to create the answer, but just ask it openly and feel for maybe a response inside, and you can start to feel perhaps a sense of security and what security feels like, or what stability feels like. And gradually over time that can replace that mental habit of creating a story so that I feel at least like I'm here, like at least I exist. Yeah, so it's whatever is true for you, but you can start with. So just for I don't know who has just joined, but I can see you. Hello, you're just a bunch of numbers on my screen. Um, so yeah, if your mind is producing sort of a negative story about yourself or your life, and you want less of that, one question you can ask yourself is, what is my mind actually searching for in the first place through producing a story about me? Even if it's an unpleasant story, what is being sought after? What is my mind or part of my energy trying to accomplish? And the answer is usually something like a sense of existence, or a sense of stability, or a sense of security, or a sense of purpose, or even a sense of well-being, even though it doesn't feel like well-being when the story is negative. Existing can feel better than not existing. So if, for example, the answer was stability or security, I want to feel stable or secure in a story, even if the story is negative, you just ask the general question, and it helps to kind of ask the question inside your body. Not so much asking your mind, but asking your body, or some people might even feel like asking the universe as a whole, which makes it sort of feel even more expansive and like you can receive the answer rather than thinking about it. So how would it feel to be secure, or how does security feel? How does it feel to exist securely? And just asking the question on an emotional general level, how would it feel if I felt secure? Or how does security feel? Any question that feels sort of soft and light and general can just open you up to a different energy that you're used to. Um, and it can be a habit, sort of a new habit to form, where you basically start to use a different part of your mind, really, not just this personal habitual momentum mind that maybe has some negative stuff in it from the past. You sort of start to open yourself up to your broader mind that you can kind of receive intelligence from, or receive energy from, or energies from. Because security, the feeling of stability or security, is an energy. And once it's allowed, it can become more things. It becomes ease, it becomes relaxation, because you can relax when you feel secure. It's hard to relax if you don't feel secure. So security can come first. And then that can start to build momentum. So that turns to ease, or relaxation, or lightness, calm. And then that can even start to turn to peace or joy, gradually. Yeah, and the cool thing about it really is that if you're genuinely asking, how does it feel, for example, to feel secure, it's easier than trying to work it out yourself or trying to produce it yourself. Because all these things aren't energies or feelings that you have to create. They're more like energies that you can be willing to access, or be willing to become friendly with, or be willing to be in alignment with. And even something, actually this is something I thought I could talk about, is people talk quite a lot about abundance and the energy of abundance, and that's great, and it's sometimes it's tied to finances, sometimes it's tied to anything. But if you were to treat peace or stability or security or a sense of well-being or anything that you want on a feeling level, if you started to actually imagine even or treat that energy as if it's everywhere, as if it's completely abundant, as if it runs through the whole universe. So a sense of peace, for example. Imagine there was just infinite peace surrounding you all the time, running through your whole body, everywhere, and you're either very aware of it sometimes or you're not. It's not something that you have to uncover and discover or create or produce or do anything for. It's more like this infinite energy that's always there, and you're either unaware of it and maybe in some form of resistance, which feels uncomfortable. And the discomfort is a sign that you're resisting that energy of your own self, basically. Or you are becoming friends with that energy and starting to appreciate the abundance of it, and even entertaining the idea that it is everywhere and abundant. Then it can almost start to just take you over, rather than you feeling as if it's this thing that you can sometimes reach, or sometimes produce, or sometimes not. Instead, it becomes this thing that's everywhere that you can start to relax into more and more, almost like it's a living force, really, and that itself starts to build momentum, until you start to feel like it is actually everywhere, and I've just never really noticed it. Yeah, that's a great way of saying it. Yeah, like it's the ground of everything, and we're either resisting it and then not noticing it anymore, or we are noticing it more and more. Yep. Yeah. And then when you entertain that possibility, you start to feel the reality of it. Yeah. That's it. Because that's great. That's great to have that insight. And kind of the opposite end of the scale, even if the situation was the same, like the presence, the energy of what you want is always there, someone else who thinks that they have to go through a period of time before they reach it, it's like they can still be surrounded by that great energy, but they're still just in their heads with this attitude that it's not here yet, and I will get it, but not yet. So then their experience is just small and cut off, even though the reality around them is different, that there's this living presence that can take them over. If they have an idea that it's got to be my achievement, or it's got to be a result of what I do or even practice, then that can be someone's experience, where they just close off a part of themselves from the experience that I was just talking about. You look like you might say something. Is that true, or are you good?